Okay, the Vancouver Canucks are on the clock. 15th overall. This is the draft so far. I was freaking out like 3 minutes ago because Carter Bear went 13th overall to the Detroit Red Wings. Amazing pick. Fantastic player, and I think the Red Wings are going to get tremendous value out of Bear and that selection. However, man, I said, even though I wanted Carter Bear to slip to 15 for Vancouver, there is another name who is available right now for Patrick Allvin to take, and I don't know if they're going to trade the pick. That's the thing. It's very well possible that in the 10 seconds remaining before this pick gets confirmed, we get a trade. But there is a name that is available still, and who happens to be Swedish. Victor Eklund is right here, man. Victor Eklund is right here. Oh boy, let's get it on to Gary Bettman.
Club. Strong on his skates, two-way winger, Mikael Samuelsson.
Hey, there's some Red Wings and Vancouver trivia for ya. It's Mikael Samuelsson. That's incredible, man. Oh, he's got gray hair now. That's ridiculous. All right, let's go, Sammy. Samuelsson, Kessler, Mason Raymond.
Ready for hosting this great event.
All right, yeah.
Also want to shout out to all our fans back in Vancouver.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mikael Samuelsson. That's me, baby.
Say congrats to the Florida Panthers.
Oh, okay. They're congratulating the Florida Panthers. Are they the first team to do that? I don't know. I haven't been paying attention. But here's the pick. Here's the pick.
All right. With the 15th selection in the 2025 NHL Draft,
Eklund?
The Vancouver Canucks are proud to select
Eklund.
From the Seattle Thunderbirds.
Whoa! Okay. They don't take Eklund. Braeden Cootes. That is actually a really solid pick too, I think. You know, the Vancouver Canucks were looking at Carter Bear. That was the reported name to them. And a lot of folks were going out there and saying, okay, they're going to go after that high-energy buzzsaw winger. Braeden Cootes isn't that. He is a center. So he plays down the middle, 6 feet 183, but he was supposed to go roughly in this range. I'm just kind of shocked that Cootes is taken ahead of Eklund and that Eklund is slipping a lot more in this draft class, but Cootes from the Seattle Thunderbirds is not a bad pick in the slightest. I like this quite a bit. In a vacuum, Cootes to Vancouver at 15 is totally fine. He's a one-man forecheck. His motor and energy are undeniably elite. In a single shift, Cootes can amass multiple puck retrievals, guiding opponents into a big hit, spinning off a check and passing, winning another race by winning inside position meters before the boards, and repeating over and over until the puck finds the back of the net. Primarily a playmaker, Cootes escapes with quick passes inside and occasionally deceives opponents to find a backdoor option. After passing, he dashes to the net to create traffic and collect loose pucks. Braeden Cootes is a very, very solid hockey player, and with 63 points in 60 games played, 26 goals, and 37 assists for the Seattle Thunderbirds as the captain of the Tees, he went out there and put scouts on their feet. He has himself shades of Vincent Trocheck, according to the NHL Draft Guide. An A-ranked prospect who is a one-man, four-checking machine who already looks like an NHLer. With flashes of dynamic play driving, there is top 6 potential in this physical, energy, scoring center. Now, the interesting thing about Cootes is that he actually was ranked a lot higher at the beginning of the season. He was at number 10, and then he inevitably slipped. It's kind of interesting because that's the same story that happened with Vasily Podkolzin. Except the difference is Cootes actually produced in his draft-eligible season. Pods didn't. Now, for those who are going to get all pissy at me for making the first half of this video all about Victor Eklund, hey, the guy was supposed to be a top 5 pick in some people's eyes, and he's still available. Plus, he's Swedish. So I thought it would be like natural that the Vancouver Canucks would take another guy. I mean, Lekaramaki, Villander, they only take Swedes, but now that's been broken because Cootes is a good old Sherwood Park, Alberta kid, and he will be making his home with the Vancouver Canucks. Honestly, if you think about the guys in the mold that Vancouver has been interested in lately, the O'Connors, the Garlands, the Joshuas, and the like, Cootes provides a lot of that same energy. But he also has a good scoring touch too, and he has top 6 potential at the NHL level. If you think that Elias Pettersson pans out as a number 1C long-term, first-line center material, 100-point caliber material, if Braeden Cootes is out there at second-line center, getting, let's say, 60 to 65 points a year, whilst being a dog on the PK and a forechecking machine, I think that's actually a really good pickup here. Now, to give us some extra context, I wanted to give a big shout-out to Scouching, my old buddy Will. Most of y'all are probably familiar with Will Scouching and the work that he does, but this is the scouting report on Braeden Cootes from Scouching.ca. What a fun player Cootes is. Really compact, but a great combination of pace, skill, and off-puck awareness that has a nice long-term trajectory in my opinion. He was successful offensively on a team that struggled to generate offense around him, with just as much involvement in his team's offense on average as names like Desnoyers, O'Brien, Reschny, Kindel, and Carbonneau. I see a Chandler Stevenson type player here if people forget about Cootes too much. He flies under the radar, isn't the biggest guy, but flies up and down the ice just being rock solid with a bit of offense and a bit of defense anywhere on the ice. Then people notice when he's 5 years into his career and he's seen as highly valuable. I do wonder about his compact nature and off-puck quickness being enough to work against NHL opposition, but Cootes brings so much upside with a combination of skill and high-paced play that few others have this year. Energetic, smart, and effective, Cootes isn't perfect, but he's a solid option likely to go a bit later than he probably should. He was ranked 18th here by Scouching, ahead of names like Roger McQueen, Radim Mrtka, Jackson Smith, all guys who did go above him in the real 2025 NHL Entry Draft. So, with that out of the way, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Braeden Cootes? Do you think this was an appropriate pick here? I think it was a good one. Maybe not the highest ceiling pick that I think would have been available. Victor Eklund is still on the board after all. But 15th overall, Braeden Cootes, this is a guy that Vancouver was linked to. They couldn't get Carter Bear, so Cootes is a really nice other option who provides similar styled play. Physical, intense, hard to play against, forechecking, puck battling, body checking machine who could also score a lot of points. He produced maybe not the most points you could expect out of a WHL draftee, but the Seattle Thunderbirds were really not too great this season, so I'm willing to give him the pass there. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the newest Vancouver Canuck in Braeden Cootes. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.